Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama क्या Shri Ram Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Everybody go ahead. Radhe Life is too short, my friend. Life is too short to fight amongst the people we love. Life is too short to break up with the people in our home. Life is too short to take the people in our lives for granted. Some people, they get close and they appreciate one another for a moment. And after that, they start taking one another for granted. Life is too short to take your mother for granted. Life is too short to take your father for granted. Life is too short to take your spouse, your loved one, your husband, your wife, your children for granted. And for a child, life is too short to take your mother and father for granted. Love them while you can. Appreciate them while you can. Because you see the day you see that box, that coffin comes before you will hold your head and you will scream. And you will say, God, why? Why me? Why my mother? Why my father? I want to see them one more time. I want to speak to them one more time. God, what did I do? You will question yourself. You will doubt yourself. You will lose confidence in yourself. You will become depressed. Friends, while you have it, appreciate it. While you have them, love them, treat them well. Because nobody will last forever in this world. Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya All together with love, boliye pyari. Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Shri Ram Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram क्या बात वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की this child falls down there and he's trying to pull out the arrow but he screams out and nobody could hear him, not his mother, but the hunter hears him. The one who has shot the arrow hears him. In the Ramcharitramanas, it is said at that point Raja Dashrath, who is the father of Prabhu Ramachandra, at that point in time he had no children. At that point, he's now young and he's traveling through the forest and he is a hunter. He learns to hunt. Some people say, but how could he be Some people come with the questions, how could Sri Ramachandra be the son of Raja Dashrath if Raja Dashrath was hunting? You see, there are 4 castes and 4 types of people. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. The Brahmanas were born according to their lifestyle to worship and to pray to God with a purified manner. The Kshatriyas were grown and born into the world so that they will protect the Brahmanas while they pray. The Vaishya, they will ensure that they will perform or do what they must to ensure that the Brahmanas get offerings for the gods and the Kshatriyas are strong. And the Shudras would have ensured that everybody is taken care of. For example, Brahmanas would sit and pray whole day for everybody. You come and do your puja, your jandi, your worship. Kshatriyas, they would arm themselves and they would stand and protect the yagyashalas and the yajnas from people like Ravana and King Kams. In order for them to be strong, they would eat what they must, and the Vaishya, they would plant the produce and they will see about the garden and the farming and so on to ensure that the Brahmanas get fruits to offer, and even the Kshatriyas, they get what they must eat to become strong and healthy. They are warriors. And the Shudras would have assisted to make sure everybody is fine. Raja Dashrath was of which caste? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra? Which one? Yeah, what? Very good one. Raghukulariti sada chali aaye. He was from the Raghukul dynasty. They were of the second caste. They were Kshatriyas. They would pray to Bhagwan Surya, the Raghukul clan, and they were warriors to protect. He ruled the kingdom. Hence, as a warrior, he would hunt. He would learn archery. He would learn how to fight. He taught Prabhu Ramachandra how to fight. They were grown into the caste of the Kshatriya caste. What about Prabhu Krishna? Prabhu Krishna was of which caste? Kya hua? Mommy knows well. Mommy says she learned them from me. Beautiful, Mommy. At least you remember. Some of them are young and they say, we forget what you say. Prabhu Krishna was of which caste? Brahmana prayed to gods. Kshatriya would stand to protect and fight. The Vaishya, they would now take care of the farming and the produce and the animals. Lord Krishna will take the cows and go into the gardens. Lord Krishna would go with his father when he goes farming. He was of the Vaishya, the third. And he was Prabhu Shri Krishna. We worship him in the world. We worship Prabhu Ramachandra of that caste system. The Brahmanas are the ones to pray to God for all of us. Today, Bhaktas, while Raja Dashrath went hunting, he went hunting, but he was so good of an archer, he didn't have to see anything to shoot his arrow. He could close his eyes, he was so good, listen to the sound, and wherever he heard a sound, he would simply mount his arrow and just release. And that is what he did. He heard water making noise, he heard the sound of water, and he says, that must be a nice big deer. To splash with that amount, it must be a big deer. So he aimed and he shot. Only when he heard the cry of a child or the sound of a man, he ran towards the direction. And when he reached at the spot, he looked at the child lying there. And he says, oh my God, look at what I've done. What will I do now? Look at what has happened. He didn't know what to do. At that point, he looked at his son, and all his son can think about in his last moments of breath was to say, take care of my mother and father, they are up there. Go take care of them. Raja Dashrath is so scared. How can I take care of them? They would want to know who I am. He says, my last wish to you, Raja, please go and take care of my parents. And Raja Dashrath, looking at the child, looking at him at that point, he sees where the life force and the energy is about to leave. He doesn't know what to do. He tries to pull out the arrow, and when he does, he looks at him and he says, son, get up, Utna, I will take care of you and you will take care of your parents. But the last moment is coming. Koi laak kare chaturai, koi laak kare chaturai, karam ka le kamte nare bhai, You all singing like you're dead already. Vrindavan में हरे लाल की, उमापति महादेव की. You all waking? How many people waking? Put up the hands. We know when we hear this song, we say, Baba, you sing a dead song, it's so nice. But you all singing like you all go on Jai Narayan. Let us all sing. Koi lakh kare karam ka. Kya baat? He's lying down there and the life force is leaving and all he's saying is, Raja, take care of my parents. Take some water for them. So Raja sees a little container one side on the side of the banks of the river. And he sees now the soul of the son leaving. He doesn't know what to do. He goes and he picks up the little vessel and he collects a jar of water and he starts to walk up the hill. But he's going up and then suddenly he sees mother and father sitting there. He's scared, he doesn't know what to say to them, he doesn't know what to do. But he's going up there quietly and while he's now trying not to make too much noise, he's seeing mother and he's seeing father. Sometimes in life you'll be put in certain situations. When you are put in situations, think of God. Put God in your thoughts and in your mind. There may be moments in your life where you're scared, where you're hurt, where you're confused, where you don't know what to do, where to go, who to turn to or who to speak with. When that moment comes, turn to God, my friends. As the soul of the son has left, it is at that point Raja continued his journey. Raja goes up and he sees mother and father sitting there, and while they're sitting, he goes up to the mother and he has the vessel and he's walking towards her, but he's not saying anything. He's scared. What should I say? How would I say, Ma, I just killed your son. Bring some water now. He walks up to the mother very easily, and the mother hears footsteps coming towards her. So she says, Son, is it you? He walks up to her and he takes the vessel and he was about to put it into her hand so that she can hold it. Son, speak now. Why aren't you speaking? And she takes the vessel. When she takes the container with the water, she wants the water to drink, but even at that point, his son is not speaking. Son, kya hua? Is something wrong? Son, why aren't you speaking to me? Say something. And even then, Raja Dashrath is scared to speak. What will he say? He's standing there and he's waiting for the mother to drink. And before the mother can even put it by the mouth, Son, speak now. He then opens his mouth and he says, Maya, and she stops right there. She realizes this is not her son. Arey kaun hai? Wo kaun hai? Naam batao na. Tell me, what is your name? Who are you? Where is my son? What have you done with my son? And Raja stops there. Haath jodakan. He puts his hands together. And he says, Ma, I am Raja Dashrath. I have come from the forest while I was hunting. Ma, I am very skilled in what I do as an archer. And by mistake, I shot at your son and he's no more. The mother dropped the vessel of water right there and then. And as soon as she dropped the vessel, she held on to her heart, my child, You've destroyed my child. You've hurt my child. He has left. He's all I have. He's all that is there for me to take care of me. He's all that I live for. Do you know how many parents live for their children? And in turn, the children gives back nothing to them. Do you know how many parents, if you ask them, what do you want in the world? I just want my child to be happy. I just want my children to grow up and be happy. I just want to see my child go to school and become successful. I just want to see my child get a good job. I want to see my child have a happy family one day. I want to see my child. Some parents, before they even die, they look at their children or grandchildren and say, make sure before I die, I see you get married. Not so? Some of them look at you and they say, before I die, make sure I see you get a good job and you're comfortable. Make sure I see you get a nice home. That's all they want. What do parents want from us? To be remembered and to see that you are happy. That's it. No mother in the elder days or the father are fighting for land and wealth and gold and jewelry. They want to see children happy and they want to see them successful. Today, in the scripture, it is said that while Raja Dashrath, he has walked up to the mother's heart hurts and she says, you've taken everything away from me. My child is everything away. My child is everything to me, and you've snatched it away. And to those, according to the Garuda Puran, to those who take away the happiness of a mother or a father by pulling away that child, there are consequences. Scripture says today, while Raja Dashrath took away the child of the mother, she cannot see. She says, I wish I could have seen you today. I would have shrapped you, Raja. But I cannot see you. While my friends, Raja Dashrath is standing there, the mother, she feels a pain in her heart and she breathes heavily and she breathes and she's panting until the last moment is about to come for her. Shri Rama Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Rama Jai Rama. Shri Rama Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Rama Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, oh, Shri Rama Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. It is at this time, while the mother breathes heavily, suddenly she loses breath and then the soul starts to leave the body. The soul starts to travel and the father is listening and he's saying, Hare Maya, ye kya hai? Maya batao na. And he's saying her breathing heavily and suddenly she stops breathing. Father says, Raja, what blight have you brought to my family? You've killed my son and now my wife is gone. And then what have you done? Are you bringing bad luck? And there he feels for his little kamandalu on his side and he pours some water in his hand. And when he pours the water, he says a prayer to Lord Shiva. And when he says that prayer, he throws it at Raja Dashrath. And when he throws it, he says, today you have brought pain into my life and into my family. And just like our son has left and he has died, and now my wife has died, I will now perform samadhi and I will leave this body. It doesn't make sense being alive. But I strap you today, just like I have lost my son and I will die along with my wife. One day your son will leave you and you will die out of grief for your own child. It is said on that day, Raja Dashrath put his hands together and he started to beg, Are, please forgive me, I beg you, please forgive me. And the father says, today my one and only child, Shravan Kumar, is no more. But one day you will know, when you sit by your door and you cry and you beg and that son walks away, you will grieve and you will cry as well. At that point, no matter what Raja did, there was nothing that could pacify now this father. His father threw that water and there he then struck Raja Dashrath. And from there, it is said the beginning of the Ramcharitamanas is about to begin, where the curse of Ravana or the curse of Raja Dashrath was heard. On that day, no matter how much he tried to pray, he had hurt a mother. And I want you to bear in mind, this is Navratri time. When you hurt a mother, you pay the consequences. Don't make a mother cry. She kept us in her home for a long time. And she never complained. Why complain? Before we worship our mother tonight, this bhajan now that concludes the katha, it goes like this.